Hey, this is Mario Evon. Welcome to 21 Questions with Dr. Mario Guthrie. Let's go. Did you always want to become a medical doctor? The short answer to that question is no, I did not. Let's leave it there for now. As a child, what did you want to be? As a child, I wanted to be an entertainment coordinator. I used to see them at hotels. I was fascinated by their energy and the vibes that them used to build, and that them used to go to the disco and then play the sports and then them shots and they both and have a good time. It just looked like epic fun, not realizing that they worked so hard, lived on property, and they didn't get paid that well. But that aside, I love the idea of what they did, and I think that tied into my love for people and making people feel good and performing and being a performer. I think all of it was wrapped up in that job, and I think that was really what I wanted to do initially. So that's interesting. And there's a time I wanted to become an entrepreneur. I wanted to own hotels. I wanted to run a small hotel run by children for children. Yeah. Why did you decide to become a doctor? Well, let me first answer that by saying I don't regret that I became a doctor, but in Caribbean culture, especially at the time I was growing up, it was encouraged to have a stable profession. I have a father who is an obstetrician gynecologist, and he was kind of an example to me in terms of professions. So having him kind of around inspired me to see medicine and think of it as an option. I realized just going through the motions. I did the sciences, then I went to pure and applied sciences at university, and then I was like, what am I going to do? I don't want to become a marine biologist, so I decided to do medicine. It wasn't really rooted in any super deep passion. It just seemed right, like the right thing to do at that time, so I did it. Why haven't you specialized? As I went through medical school and I was coming towards the end of it and started to work, I realized that if I specialized, it would have been one of two specialties, and that would have been pediatrics or obstetrics and gynecology, women or children. Those were the ones that I liked the most. But I also realized that my passion for music was stronger than it ever had been, and I had wanted to learn more about music and to develop my skills a bit more and to actually go hard in music while I was still in my 20s. So I went for it, and I applied to Berklee College of Music and kept going. And that's why I didn't specialize, and I doubt I ever will, but you never know. Never say never. Does it bother you that people expect you to specialize, but you haven't? Well, initially it bothered me a lot because I feel like society and other doctors in the profession and people in the medical world put a certain amount of pressure on you to specialize. It's kind of like when you get married and them expect you to have a baby, and then you have one baby and them expect you to have two. It's the same concept with medicine. It's kind of like, yeah, I spent 5 years and I got a degree. Now you want me to specialize. What if I don't want to specialize? Can't you be okay with that? I'm okay with it. Are you okay with it? Because I'm good. Are you good? I'm good. So in the beginning, yeah, a bit. Now I couldn't care less. Now I'm just really happy that I wasn't locked into feeling like I had to, and that I stepped out of that potential trap and discovered other parts of myself that have flourished and that have really brought a lot of joy to my life. So I am blessed that I didn't, and if I do, then I do. Then I don't, you know, we see. Yeah. If you specialize, what would it be in? If I specialized, it would be in pediatrics because I really love children. I love them, I love them, I love them. I think they're the light of the world, and they're so uninhibited, and they're so free flow. You know, they do what they feel like, they do what they authentically want to do. They are just beautiful vessels. So I love kids, and obstetrics and gynecology because I love women too, and I love the idea of them bringing life to the world. I love the idea of keeping them healthy, and they are also very unique vessels too. Not that men aren't, respect to men and urologists and people who take care of men, because I do as a GP, but pediatrics or ONG would have been my choice. I also like to use my hands, so a surgical specialty would be desired. That's where the ONG would come in. And pedi, I just like the kids. I don't know about the pedi surgery part. What does medicine, the profession, mean to you? Medicine as a profession means a lot to me from the perspective of all that I've learned from it. So many amazing qualities: empathy, humility, just how to interact with people, customer service. You know, I've had to deal with death. I've had to deal with so many different things. It's like so wide and vast, and the knowledge base that you need and what you have to study and how you have to stay on top of it and how it continually is evolving, that is unique to that profession, and I love that about it. So I can't say that I don't enjoy being a doctor. I've actually got a lot of joy from being a doctor and helping people as a doctor. What do you think are your strengths as a doctor? I think my biggest strength as a doctor is relatability and people. So I think communication is my strength. I think being non-judgmental is my strength. So when somebody comes through my door, by the time they're seated, I feel like I can break them down to a place where they feel comfortable, and that allows them to disclose their issues in a very true way. And it allows me as a doctor to be a better can't say that word, diagnostician, that's it. Allows me to make a diagnosis easier because I have all the information that I need. So my strength is that communication, relatability, being non-judgmental, and then I think I actually have a good grasp, a good general grasp of the medicine. So I'm able to break things down to the patient in a way that they understand, which just allows the process to be that much more easy. What are your weaknesses as a doctor? Well, you know, most doctors think that they are almighty and all-powerful. So, you know, for a doctor to admit weaknesses is a big deal. I actually think my weaknesses lie more in business, not so much in medicine. I think that because of how I operate as a human, sometimes I'm not the best businessman. And, you know, there are times when I just need to be a little tighter on the business side in many different ways. And I would say maybe that's where my weaknesses lie, more on the entrepreneurial side. But that also continues to evolve as you get more and more into business. But as a doctor, entrepreneurship, yeah. You are also a recording artist, creative, Mario Evon. Why do you maintain two separate brands? Let me tell you how this something goes. You see, when I got into music, I've always seen music as its own space, and I've always entered it as a purist. So for me, I saw myself like MJ, JT, Usher, delivering a very clear and specific brand, you know, of whatever the music is. So for me, medicine never came into it. I never wanted to sing to patients. I never wanted to become a music therapist. The two don't overlap and they don't cross the end. So for me, it was important to kind of separate the two worlds, because the things that I did with each brand really have separate existences. So that's pretty much why. Is it hard being a multi-potentialite? Well, ain't this question the clincher for the day? It's hard. It's hard doing so many things that you love all at the same time. It's hard knowing which ones to push, which ones to pull. It's hard knowing how much time to devote to each one, how to sequence them, how to prioritize them. It's difficult, but I don't think I can live any other way. It's kind of the only way I know. I only know how to be a multi-potentialite. I've always done a lot of things all my life. I just have to always be careful about time management, but it's not easy. But I enjoy it, and I think I'll always be this person. So there's nothing that I can do to change it. I just have to manage it as best as I can. If you were to choose one profession, music or medicine, which one would you choose? You know, interviewers like to ask this question, and I think they like the controversy of the answer. And if I had to choose one, it would be music. And that's not for great dislike of medicine, but I'm just more passionate about entertainment. And I don't actually see myself being a doctor for the rest of my life. So it may just be a phase. It may just be something that I go through for a period of time. Maybe remain in medicine in some other capacity, but I don't see myself physically sitting down and seeing patients for the rest of my life. I see myself in other spaces. So I'm going to see if I can evolve into those dreams and passions for myself. If not, I'm fine with it too. You know, again, I'm okay with being where I am when I'm supposed to be there. But in my mind's eye, I don't sit down behind a desk and write prescriptions till my last breath. Do you have any moments when the two brands, medicine and music, benefited you? Absolutely, and I think this is very important for people who are multi-potentialites and who do a lot of things to keep in mind, because they make it so caught up in wanting to do one or the other that they forget that sometimes the two are going to make you so unique. I feel like being a doctor and a musician has made me unique in such a way that Jadco had approached me to do the We Don't Need No Dope to Cope ad. They wanted somebody who could sing, but they also liked the fact that I was a doctor, so that was kind of along the lines of health, and I was a musician, which was kind of relatable to the youths. And then having someone who does both kind of was a cool way for them to deliver their message. But if I wasn't a doctor and a musician, I probably would not have gotten that gig. You know, so big up to the Jamaica Anti-Doping Commission. You know, thank you for thinking of me and utilizing me. It was a very important point in my career in terms of people knowing who I was. And a lot of the talks that I do, the motivational talks that I do at high schools, I've been to many, many high schools and prep and primary schools. And it's really based on the fact that I'm a doctor and a musician. It is the combination that makes me kind of marketable or interesting to them. I've been to St. Catherine High, I've been to Mona Prep, I've been to all sorts of schools, all sorts of places, and spoken to lots of students. And it's been really, really, really cool, no lie. As a doctor, do you lean more to the medical stuff or to the surgical stuff? I love to use my hands, so I definitely lean more to the surgical. You know, like pimple poppers, like those people who like legit their mouths water when they say I bump bean birds. There's like a low-key pimple popper in me, where like when I cut an abscess, it's kind of cool. And you know, you kind of just, I do want some mouth water, but it's just kind of cool. And an abscess is like a big pus-filled thing. And how medical was that? An abscess is a collection of pus. So you know when they boil it under your armpit, when you get an ingrown hair or something and they get infected and they get big, and you cut that and pus comes out. Kind of cool, kind of like it. Do you lean more to the youth or the elderly? Old people, older people, elderly people, I love or no, but I love the youth. I have a leaning to, again, kids as you say, but I really love adolescents. I love being a safe space for adolescents. I think that is like such a really unique space to be in. You know, when you come to your doctor for the first time, I want to say adolescents, I mean young adults too, which is the next phase. So like if you're in your early 20s, like you're just at university, 21, 22, 23, I love that phase because these are young people who usually don't have a doctor because they're well. So you know, it's the entry of their health-seeking behavior. It's when they have a yeast infection, it's when they have a STI, it's when they have something acute but not chronic but important, and they come to you and they start to just become aware of their bodies and aware of themselves and aware of how to kind of monitor this machine of their body throughout life. And I love to guide them right there. And from a business standpoint, your patients in your 20s are going to become your patients right along, you know what I mean? Until you're still practicing, they're going to stay with you from their teenagers, come right up to when you don't practice anymore, if everybody is healthy. And that's pretty cool too, because they're the ones that really build your practice. And them just fun. And them have a buzz. I like them. What does it mean to you to be a doctor in Jamaica? Mario Evon, I like that question. I like it because I feel like being a doctor in any other country is so different from country to country, and I've never practiced anywhere else except for Jamaica. 'Cause even being a doctor in different parts of Jamaica is different. So there's something super special about and magnetic about Jamaicans and Jamaican culture. If you've ever been to Jamaica, if you're a Jamaican, you know what I'm talking about. And just how Jamaicans express, how they make up words for things, or we have slang for everything. It's a space where when you treat patients well, then we bring produce for you, you get yam and banana and these things. And it's just the respect that people have for the doctor, dying a little bit more now than it used to be, but it still exists. The respect that they have for the doctor, the trust that they have in you, and just how they treat you. And also being a doctor in Jamaica reflects how I was trained up at UA. the kind of work ethic that was put into us, the kind of people that came before me who taught me, like some really good doctors, really good at examination skills, really good principles. I just feel like the medical foundation laid in Jamaica is solid. And that's why our Jamaican doctors go to other countries and they kick ass. And that's why, because they are solid doctors and they're really good and they know the basics and they know how to do procedures well and they're good with their hands and they're good with their minds. And that's just part of being trained here. So I am happy that I was trained here. So that's part of it. How does having a father who is a medical doctor impact you? The impact of my father is huge because he is a well-respected physician, and outside of me growing up seeing the kind of love and respect that people have had for him, I've had the opportunity of working with him a few times, assisting him with surgery cases in the past, and that's a pretty, most people don't know that that ever happens. It doesn't happen a lot, but it has happened many times, and that's pretty cool. I never thought that I would be sharing that space with my father. To be able to share that kind of space is unique. You wake up in the early morning and you go and you help to save someone's life with your father. Like, how many people get to do that? And not many people do. And now he's still practicing, I'm still practicing. In the daytime when I have a guy any question, I can just call him on the intercom and I ask him his opinion. And if he has a GP question about allergies or something non-medical, sorry, non-gynae, or him want to know a dose, him just call me on the intercom. So to have a family member who you love and trust, who has the same training and who you can share that bond with and that connection with is super unique. So, and he's just a brilliant doctor, so he has impacted me in really teaching me how to treat patients. He's helped me with my bedside manner, he's helped me with just general logistics of medicine, how to approach different conditions, how to find your way through it, you know? And that's a whole science, because I think doctors are totally good based on their judgment. And I think some people's judgment is based on their personality. So if you're a very fretty person, then you're going to practice fretty medicine. If you want to check everything, you're going to prescribe every test for and every drug for the people and make them go spend out their money when you don't have to. You just need to know when to. And so I think that he has helped me to develop my judgment. So yeah, big ups, Dad. You're the boss. Will you ever specialize? Will I ever specialize? That is the question. I don't know. I've been thinking about doing a master's in public health. It's a thought. I may not. Let's see. Where do you see yourself in the future in medicine? Well, this is top secret. You'll be the first to know. Don't tell anybody. I see myself in the business of medicine. I would have fulfilled my childhood desire of being like a top-notch entrepreneur. I will run the medical facility. I will have doctors working in the facility. I will oversee the facility and ensure that things function at a certain standard. So I will be in the business of medicine, but I will be doing other things while running the practice as the boss. That's what I see in the future of medicine. And if that's not what I end up doing, then I probably want to find some very specialized counseling thing to do where I have to deal with people and get them through very specific problems, because I feel like counseling is not a strength of mine. So yeah, but overall, business of medicine and not sitting in a chair. Yeah. Did you ever imagine that you would be asking your own self questions in the name of creating content? No, because Mary Evon play rough and tired of it, and I'm too enough. But anyway. Question number 21, which should actually be in question number 14, is: do you have any moments when the two brands have not benefited you? This is an interesting question because as a medical doctor and a musician, what I've come to find is that musicians sometimes don't respect you as much as a pure musician if they know you have another profession.
which means your music becomes your hobby. And oddly, sometimes patients and doctors don't respect you as a doctor because they know that you're a musician. So you couldn't be that good at medicine, because where do you find time to read studies and to learn more about the actual medicine? And are you really good if you're a creative? So I am not sure what percentage of people fall into these categories on either side of the coin. I think they are in the minority. So I wouldn't say it affects me largely in medicine. I think it has the potential to affect me more in music, because producers don't approach you, other artists don't try to collaborate with you. So it's no longer based on talent anymore or potential. It's kind of just based on the fact that you have another job, so you couldn't serious about music. Those are the ways that I find that having two careers can work against you.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Mario Evon interviewed me, 21 questions with me. I'm sure you might have more questions. Feel free to drop them in the comments below, and I may just answer them. Or if you drop questions that I didn't answer, maybe we can do this again. Maybe it can be 5 questions. But anyways, let me know how you feel, if there was anything that inspired you, anything that touched you, and we can talk some more. Blessed love. Thank you for being here. You know what to do: like, subscribe, share, and do all of the things what you need to do, because you know what, some followers, we're just there at about 200 and something. Come, I could do the thing. Come, share. Bye. So many things, you know, so many things that medicine teaches. You look here. It's like the animal kingdom out here. Anywhere I record a video is the animal kingdom. Goodness.